Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm very honored that you decided to take the time because today is going to be a rather personal video. I'll be talking about myself, how I got interested in geology, some basic background about myself, and of course a little bit about the Geo Insider initiative with Earth Science Matters and what we hope to achieve through it. So enjoy! This presentation or this video is called Geology for Me, Victoria Corcimaru, and for my global community. So, let us start. Once upon a time. So this is my story. I come from the Republic of Moldova. This is a small country in Eastern Europe. It is situated between Ukraine and Romania. And I grew up being very passionate, very curious about nature. I started noticing different pebbles, and I started noticing the differences between rocks, and I was so curious. I really wanted to find out more. I wanted to know why the different textures, why the different colors, why the different softnesses, why the different properties, all of this stuff. And my interest was also sparked by our school teacher, who decided it would be a very special practice to give out little stones to children for their birthday. Obviously, those were pretty pebble stones, like the one you see over here on the picture in pink. This is quartz, and for me it was very special. And I decided that, wow, well, if I get this as a gift for my birthday, then it's definitely worth learning more about it. I wanted to know what made it so special, and that's how actually in first grade I became very interested in chemistry, because I would open up the encyclopedia for minerals, and I would see all those different chemical formulas for the minerals, and I would be like, what are those letters? What are those numbers? I've never seen them written in such a weird way before. But because I knew that they somehow represented the things I was seeing and collecting, you know, as you can see over here on the left in the candy boxes, I knew this was real, and I was very interested. That's why for me geology has been always something that brings together all other sciences and makes them worthwhile and interesting to learn about, like chemistry. You might imagine how exciting that was for me when I came to study it. And of course physics and math is amazing too, so that is um, absolutely true and amazing. Next picture. My mission, my passion. So here I tried to boil down my mission into a statement, which was not very easy to do. And in short terms, my mission is to investigate the Earth's past and present geologic processes in order to make our communities as safe and prosperous as possible. And that for me is very important, because although geology, in my mind, is very interesting, it is also very practical. It tells us about all sorts of different things. And I personally, I'm very interested in past climate and environmental changes, which lead me to study and to pursue stratigraphy, paleoclimatology, and also not besides past environmental changes, I'm also very interested in learning more about current environmental changes. And for that, I'm in need of the knowledge of sedimentology, geochemistry, natural hazards, of course. And all together, all these bits and pieces of information, they help me build a more integrated view of of the community, of the natural surrounding, and how I am able to better my community through this. Next picture. Why is this important? Well, if you were to ask me, geology gives us an understanding of how Earth's natural processes guide the evolution of our environments over time, natural environments, of course. Together, the subdisciplines of geology help us better understand what the past changes to the environments were. For example, how the climate fluctuated over time, right? And what our current geologic resources are. For example, one the major source of energy are hydrocarbons. And of course, it would be very inefficient to go around just drilling everywhere to find them. We want accurate estimates of both the quality and the locations and the structures around the hydrocarbons. It's a whole science involved, a whole subdiscipline of geoscience that is involved only in studying this. And of course, although hydrocarbons are massively important, they're not the only things in geology worth studying. So the point is, in my mind, geology can be divided into two big compartments. We study the past climate changes and what caused them. Climate changes, environmental changes, not something that we would necessarily want to use as an economic resource. And the other side of geology, which is dedicated to studying exactly that. Where can we find what? It can be a mineral substance, an ore, it can be a reservoir, and you can, by the way, check out some really good interviews that we had on on the Geo Insider initiative about that. But we'll get to this in a few moments later. So as I was trying to point out, this knowledge is not only beautiful, amazing, fascinating, but it also helps us prevent unwanted natural disasters and make vital resources more accessible. Just imagine our lives without hydrocarbons. I mean, it would be totally different. And I'm not saying this is not something worth pursuing, a life without the use of fossil fuels, for example. But it is worth acknowledging that they have brought us very far in our pursuit of technological progress and scientific progress as well. So let's move on. Sharing the interest. I'm very passionate about sharing the interest because I genuinely find all these topics important. And if something is important, it's worth sharing with others because, hey, I don't think I'm the only person who understands how important these things are. So how do I do that? Well, I've tried lots of different things and I still like experimenting with them, but I have figured out that for me, I'm personally really interested in connecting to other people who find the subject important, like what I'm doing right now. I'm sharing what I know, very humble amount of expertise, if at all, any at all. But I love participating in conferences, writing science articles, and something that I'm most proud of is being part of the Earth Science Matters Youth Outreach Initiative. It is amazing. And more about this on the next slide. So sharing the interest and importance of Earth Science Matters with the help of Earth Science Matters Foundation has been a huge of huge importance for me. And how exactly do we do that? Well, we launched what we call the Geo Insider Initiative. And it is basically an effort to bring the knowledge and excitement, because this stuff is exciting and it's worth to be seen that way. The excitement of the earth sciences to a broader audience. And we do this by trying to boil down this enormous amount of information about geoscience into smaller compartments, which we call themes. Now, each theme is very complicated and it definitely deserves its own study, but we try to limit ourselves to a couple of videos, interviews, in other words, a very integrated approach to it. Like, we use lots of different tools to try and uncover this topic in the best way possible, and I find that very interesting, very informative, and very engaging, to be honest. And I'm very honored if you've watched our interviews, our videos, our articles, and if you find them helpful. So please comment down below if you watched them, and if you have any suggestions of videos and interviews that you would like to see. But I want to say thank you for being part of our initiative, even by watching this video. Huge thank you to you. So enjoy. Thank you.